Lotus Squad! Welcome back to Lotus Tarot TV 444. Today is all about change. And there are a lot of changes that I myself have been presented with in regards to my own life. And I've taken some time for self-reflection. And what I found is mindset matters. I've allowed my mindset in the past to be consumed with negative thoughts, negative emotions, and I have allowed myself to continue to be around negative people, places, and things. But as stated before, today is about change. And so, although even on this channel, I have lashed out. I have allowed the trolls to get me to act out of character. I have allowed what other people's opinions of me affect me. And all it's done is absolutely nothing positive for my life. So now I want to shift the focus. Since today is all about change, I want to be focused on more positive changes, positive people, constructive criticism, and things that add value, not only to my own life, but to the lives of others, to my viewers, to my supporters. I've allowed myself to misrepresent who I am as a person and my heart, all because I've been trying to run for many years from my own mistakes, from my regrets, but I'm not the only person that is fallible, right? We're all human. We all make mistakes, but it's up to each of us as an individual to either sink or swim and to learn from those mistakes. And for many years, I wasn't learning from those mistakes at all. I was just simply living my life in a vicious cycle of negativity, toxicity. And now I want to let the sun shine in. So there you have it, folks. That's what we need. And as the sun represents in tarot, it's about happiness, vitality, illumination. It's about casting light upon those lurking in the shadows and upon what's hidden within your mind, your body, your spirit, and even within your heart and your mind. Now, I'm not going to take up too much of your time today, you guys, but I wanted to come on here to do a quick collective for you all. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. What messages do you have for the collective, please? Give me a Celtic cross for all zodiac signs. What do we need to see? And what is the best advice to navigate through these energies? Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to shuffle this one last good time, you guys. And I'm going to cut the deck. Let's see what we got. I just saw the Knight of Swords reversed. So I've been guilty of this, right? Being impulsive, allowing, my own anger, my own sadness, disappointment to make me act out and lash out in ways that are out of character for me. And with that Knight of Swords reverse that I saw a second ago, there seems to be a lot of impulsivity with the things being said and done. Hello, Yardi. Welcome to the show. Now, there seems to be a lot of impulsivity, not just with people, saying harsh things or doing harsh things, but there seems to be someone here that is in fact a ticking time bomb. And, regardless of the signs, I just want to focus on the energy. And so with this type of energy around us, or it could be within us, however the energy applies to you, I feel like we would do well with taking a step back. I've been guilty of automatically having a response, because someone ruffled my feathers. And I'm sure that people on this platform, doing other things, they're not concerning themselves with that. And that's why they're so successful. And I've allowed myself to fall in the trap of wanting approval from people that either were toxic in my own personal life or just random strangers on here. And so there seems to be a lot that's going on within our minds. You know, there's a lot that we're thinking through. There's a lot of things being thrown at us. Hello, Deliver Us from Eva. Welcome. It's nice to see you. And hi, Donna. Welcome. So glad you guys could join me. But I do see that there's a lot of pettiness, you guys. Okay. 5 of Wands. All right. Now, Petty Betty, Petty Paige, and Petty Labelle has entered the chat. And it's all up to us how we deal with it, right? And regardless of what angry things people may be thinking about us or saying about us, you know, some of us may be overthinking these things or, you know, just replaying it in our minds, or we could be dealing with other people like this. There could be a lot that's being stuffed down and suppressed. Whether that's on your end or those that you're dealing with, where now it's starting to come out in explosive ways. Now, granted, as stated before, I'm human, I'm fallible, just like the rest of us on here. You know, we all make mistakes, but some of those people will try to point out those mistakes to make you feel bad about yourself and to make you feel as though you're unworthy. And, you know, something I've noticed especially, there seems to be a lot of clashing, let's just put it that way, clashing of personalities, clashing of belief systems. And, you know, of course, we all have differing beliefs. We all have different backgrounds. But one thing is for sure is I've learned, and I'm constantly learning throughout life. I know I don't have everything figured out, but what I've learned thus far is that regardless of our differing beliefs, there's something to learn from everyone. Right? Even if it's learning that you don't want to deal with somebody or learning that you maybe have something within yourself that's unresolved. I'm still learning these things within my own self, right? So regardless of what it is that you could learn from people who may have differing belief systems as you, I view that to be very valuable. One thing I've noticed as well is that listening. I mean, I'm still learning to be a better listener. Y'all know I love to talk a lot, but I'm learning more and more that the importance of listening can make or break your mindset. And it can either be, you know, the catalyst to giving you a negative result and experience or a positive one. And with these petty people here, you know, they're trying to goad you into arguments or wanting you to defend yourself, or maybe they're allowing anger, you know, to get in the way. And so, you know, reacting in these ways may get things extremely heated with other people around us. You know, we could, you know, come with some clap back or whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't solve anything, you know, it doesn't serve any higher purpose. And so a lot of us are focusing on separating from petty people. And a lot of us are focusing on finally opening the door here to new beginnings, letting the sun in. This is so funny because something popped into my head for the theme of the day, which is finding the light at the end of the tunnel. And that light is coming from the sun. And as stated before, the sun casts light upon the shadows and those lurking within those shadows. So regardless of what you believe, at the end of the day, I still believe that, you know, most of the time, in most circumstances, people do have the ability to change. So with that being said, you know, I've even looked at my own delivery, and I've been guilty of this, of coming off as though I'm attacking. But I want to make a change with that. And I also want to point out that when you feel that someone's attacking you, or if you perceive this in someone else, regardless of whether they are or they aren't, it doesn't matter, because now we're letting the sun shine in. Okay, we found the light at the end of the tunnel, and now that we're able to walk through it, we can leave all of the rest behind, right? And thank you, Donna. Thank you so much, love. Now let's go ahead and lay all of this out. Now, I love how this card is the wheel, by the way, you guys. Okay, so karmic cycle is complete, right? Karmic debt has in fact been paid off. So right now, I feel like things are shifting in the right direction. Now, granted, of course, these things take time. It's not an overnight thing, and I'm sure we all understand that. But I feel like there are certain people that may want to keep you in place or keep you stuck in a dark place here. And we are standing our ground against that in a way that would be more beneficial to our journey, our goals, and our future. Now, let's see here. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, I'm pushing them away. Now, Donna, I can completely relate to that. I've definitely been there where people may have said or done something that that hurt me or betrayed me or what have you. And pushing them away, works for some. Walking away, whichever works for you, you're headed in the right direction, because either way, you're getting rid of the toxicity and you're leaving the pettiness behind, right? You're not focusing on it. And one thing that I've been thinking about today, especially as well, is feeding your focus. And I've been guilty of this, where I've been focusing on, the negativity and, in my own life and what's being said and blah, blah, blah. But none of those things matter, because you can't eat off of words. And even within my own life, I've had to look in the mirror myself and identify some things within my own self that need changing, identify some things within my own self that needed to be illuminated by the sun, so to speak. So now we're letting go. Okay, we're releasing. We have the Hanged Man here. We're letting go because we've decided to focus on hope, faith, positivity, constructive things. With the Seven of Pentacles here in the present position, this is all about investing in the self, investing in your vision, investing in your business. Okay, we are investing in, our money, especially to those of you that have, been investing your money in. Some of you guys may invest in stocks. Some of you guys may invest in real estate. Whatever it is that you're putting your money into, a lot of us are finding many different ways to make our money work for us. Okay. And we're finding ways to grow our income rather than spending it. Now, if some of us have been, teeter-tottering on the line of imbalance with that, a lot of us are regaining balance when it comes to properly investing our resources and properly investing our time and energy, right? So that goes back to, feeding our focus. Are we focusing on the negative? Are we focusing on the positive? And I choose to focus on the positives. And some of us, as stated before, if some of us find some things within ourselves that need changing, we don't need to beat ourselves up over it. And we certainly don't need to associate ourselves with anyone else who's trying to beat us up over, any mistakes, right? What we need to focus on is apologizing to ourselves and finding forgiveness. And you guys have seen the apology video. And for those of you that haven't, check it out if you'd like. But not only have I apologized to myself, but I've apologized to you guys as well. And now I'm moving forward and moving on into a new beginning of forgiveness. And so right now, I feel like a lot of us are investing in our healing. And it's not just focused on finances, we're investing in our healing and investing in relationships that are investing in us. We're focused on endeavors, relationships, and mindsets that will allow us to progress along our journey of healing. Some of us are having a hard time with a new love offer or a past love situation that either ended in betrayal or ended in heartbreak, or maybe we just simply decided that we are incompatible, right? And some of us are still blocked off. And we're working through these blockages by focusing on self-care and focusing on healing and focusing on positive people, places, and things. Yet I still see a lot of conflict, right? Now, earlier we talked about the Five of Wands, and now we see the Five of Swords. Whatever you choose to focus on and however you choose to respond to, those around you and to life in general, will determine what side of karma you're on. And a lot of us are realizing that we need to choose wisely. And right now, we are very abundant. We're starting to invest in beautifying our home, taking care of ourselves. You know, some of us are focused on completely revamping ourselves in some way, whether that may be with your wardrobe, your makeup, your hair, your whatever it is. That's a part of you, a part of your style, a part of your vision. We're focused on these things and these things alone. And now we've decided to walk away from the majority of people, if not all of them, in order for us to maintain our inner peace and in order for us to maintain our sanity. And regardless of the conflict around us, we are not allowing ourselves to be defeated. I love seeing this because here we have the Devil card reversed. We're reclaiming our power by focusing solely on what can help us grow. We're focusing on ways to improve our quality of life, improve our mindsets, improve our lives, improve our relationships. We're more mindful of what we're watching, what we're consuming, what we're listening to, who we're surrounding ourselves with. And a lot of us are realizing that we need to shift our perception, whether that's the perception of ourselves, life, or whatever the case may be. We're not involving ourselves in one-upsmanship, but there seems to be a lot of people here that are going to try to one-up everything that you do. And while we cannot control others, we know we can control ourselves. And therein lies where we finally are able to defeat the negativity within us and the negativity around us. We're releasing ourselves from karmic attachments, karmic relationships, toxic habits, and toxicity as a whole. We're releasing ourselves. And it feels good. It's freeing. All that weight on our shoulders, all that stress and frustration and anger and bitterness, we are releasing these things. But there will be a lot of people here that will try to attack you along your journey of healing. And she's not even paying attention to it. And by not paying attention to that, therein lies victory. High Priestess reversed. This is the advice, you guys. Not only do we need to be listening to our intuition a lot more closely, but we need to listen to the way our body reacts when we listen to certain people or when we're doing certain things in certain areas. Whatever the case may be, we need to listen closely. But there seems to be a lot of the people that are trying to do this one-upsmanship. They're not looking in the mirror, but they want to hold the mirror up to you. You don't have to respond in kind. And there's something that came to mind as well. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. And I used to abide by that philosophy, an eye for an eye. But again, what purpose does that serve? See, by us tapping into our creativity, focusing on clearing our heart, solar, and sacral chakras, getting more in tune with our minds, our bodies, and our spirit. That's where we start to see long-term stability financially, long-term stability emotionally, mentally, and especially spiritually. There seems to be a lot of fear. And you know, if I'm being completely honest, for a long time, I've been coming from a place of fear, not a place of love. And because of that, I have pushed away a lot of people that actually did serve a positive purpose in my life, right? But now, the shift in paradigm, the shift in focus is now not only benefiting us, but it's inciting fear in those around us. And the reason why is that they fear your success. They fear what may be exposed, you know, and there have been so many things, even with my own life, right? For example, where I felt like I needed to conceal how I really felt. I felt like I needed to hide, you know, my journey of addiction and dealing with all of these things related to my trauma back in my childhood. All of these things I held in for so many years until I finally spoke out about these things in a way that was digestible. Rather than, you know, allowing anger and emotion to cloud my better judgment and to allow me to act in, you know, adverse ways. This fear of the unknown, especially when it comes to what may or may not be exposed, is definitely one of the factors behind that Knight of Swords reversed earlier that I saw. You know, a lot of people are speaking with a lot more venom, not realizing that an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. Two wrongs don't make a right. And a lot of us are focused on better time management, focusing on many different ways of how to manage our lives, our relationships, even our businesses, to the entrepreneurs out there. We're ready to take the lead, but a lot of us are afraid to take the lead for fear of being incapable of being a good leader, or for fear of falling flat on your face in front of people, or what other people may say, or whatever the case may be, especially when it comes to fear of the unknown. Is the free list still on? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sweetie. Now, the outcome is the Tower reversed, right? Whatever truth has already come out, whether it's about yourself or about someone else, whatever explosive truth has been revealed, it's not going to change the fact that good fortune is still entering our lives. It's not going to change the fact that we will still find success. We will still find healing. We will find a newfound understanding of not only ourselves, but the world around us. The wheel is turning in our favor, especially when it comes to the Petty Bettys, Petty Paiges, and Petty Labelles of the world. You know, whatever injustices have taken place, whatever lies have been told, and whatever imbalances within ourselves and our relationships have been revealed and exposed, the wheel is still turning in our favor. And it's because we're letting go. It's because we're letting the sunshine in. We're casting light on the darkness and what's hidden. Show me the Hanged Man. And you know what, you guys? Because I'm bringing up the topic of forgiveness, you know, once you realize that you're human, you're fallible, you make mistakes, and you apologize to yourself and other people, right? Now you move forward into forgiveness. And I want to share what it is that some of us need to forgive ourselves on, especially with this forgiveness oracle that I have. I absolutely love these cards because I admit I've been focusing way too much on what's outside of me, and I want to shift the focus inward as well. What do we need to purge? Who do we need to purge in order for us to rise? Now show me the Hangman. The Eight of Cups and the Two of Swords reversed. Wow, you guys. Wow. So a lot of us have abandoned ship, quite literally, in the past year. And it's because a lot of us have either grown apart from a lot of the people that we've known, or we have grown up. We're growing up. We are overcoming any sadness. We are overcoming any situation that just wasn't growing. It wasn't maturing. And hello, Archer's Oracle. Welcome. There seems to be a lot of gossip going on, you know, a lot of people pointing fingers, but they're not pointing them back at themselves, you know. And a lot of us, as stated before, we're not looking at she's looking behind her. She's watching her own back, right? She's focused on what she needs to do, while there are people around that are gossiping and, you know, trying to tear other people down and, you know, just trying to label them all sorts of things that are meant to hurt the other person, but we're not hurt by it at all. If anything, it's making us grow into better people, especially if we're focused on learning the lessons from the losses. We're allowing ourselves to admit our mistakes publicly. For some of us, we're admitting it to ourselves. But there will still be people that will have something to say. And that's something that I had to remind myself of, especially along this journey on YouTube. I got caught up in the numbers. I got caught up in, you know, the comparison, you know, of me and somebody else. And I ended up hurting my own self, right? I've even been guilty of, you know, gossiping about my own personal life and, you know, but at the end of the day, as stated before, in most circumstances, people can change. And that's what I want to focus on. This is why we're turning people down, blocking people, walking away, quite literally, abandoning ship with certain people because it wasn't going anywhere. There may have been some news that we received, you know, or maybe something came out in the wash within the family. And there seems to be a lot of gossip surrounding that as well. Gossip in the workplace, you know, gossip among friends, you know, gossip here and there. But at the end of the day, hello, Habisha, at the end of the day, we realize that if we're focused over gossip all the time, we're going to start internalizing that, especially with repetition, right? Repetition, the mind starts to believe it, right? Now we're starting to shift the focus, as stated before. And that's going to upset a lot of people. A lot of people want you to be upset. They want you to be crying and angry. They want you to react in the ways that maybe you had reacted to them in the past. They want you to still be in the same place. But now that they're seeing that you're not, and you're actually learning and growing from the experience and from the lies and slander and gossip, now that's going to upset a lot of people, especially to the people in your family. You know, there's been a situation where maybe we're not confessing how we really feel, or because we have not been confessing how we really feel, all of the things that we had suppressed over the years came out in ways that even shocked our own selves, right? When it comes to blocking people, there seems to be a lot of people that we may have called friends or who called themselves friends, you know, people that may call themselves mentors or call themselves, you know, whatever they want to call themselves, you know, because we haven't spoken out about these things. It could even be bullying in the workplace. It could be, you know, whatever the case may be, right? By us not confessing how we truly feel about these things and trying to stuff it down, like a volcano, we erupted. But now a lot of us are starting to identify certain insecurities within ourselves or within others. And those of us identifying insecurities within our own selves, we're finding ways to grow from these things. We're finding the right resources, such as therapists and the right mentors, the mentors that practice what they preach, you know, things like that. We're finding ways to turn those perceived insecurities and weaknesses into confidence and strength. Thank you, Shay. Now, wow. Okay. Wow. I knew this was going to come out. The Knight of Wands. I've been thinking about this all day. Now, I think that we're not communicating with a lot of people here that maybe we gave a lot of chances to, or maybe we were holding out, waiting for things to change. Thank you so much. I'm saying I appreciate that. Happy Friday, sweetie. We're not talking to a lot of people because maybe it's because of our own insecurities, the insecurities of those that we've been dealing with, or a combination of the two. Nobody is perfect. Nobody on this platform is perfect. Nobody in this world is perfect. And a lot of people speak as though they are. We all have skeletons in our closet. You know, we all have things that maybe we, you know, hope that other people don't know. But at the end of the day, you know, regardless of whether we share those with people or not, or regardless of whether the people that are gossiping, you know, are spreading lies, that doesn't matter, because the only thing we can control is who we have in our lives, who we entertain, where our focus is going. And the sun has been here for quite some time. And it's exposed a lot of people in our lives. Period. We see exactly who it is that preaches, you know, forgiveness and, you know, wanting quality relationships, but then are very passive aggressive and hateful because we have differing beliefs, or because somebody's making a mistake, or because someone's healing from trauma and their behavior along that journey of healing may not be agreeable or palatable for other people or able to be understood. Maybe it's because you're different, or maybe your style is different, or maybe you know, like different music, or whatever. You speak differently or you think differently, so people want to come for you. But that's just ignorance. And we're ignoring the ignorance because that doesn't help us along our journey of healing, right? Ace of Cups. That has nothing to do with helping others, right? By being hateful and ugly and, you know, right? And I've been guilty of this. I know I have. But again, in most circumstances, I believe people can change. And with this in the near future, or should I say as your challenge, we are challenged to open our hearts. We're challenged to find justice where there are injustices by living up to our highest potential, by learning from healthy, happy, positive people. If we've found that we've become negative in some way, we're finding ways to be more hopeful. I hope that the people can find, the people that are fixated on drama and gossip, I hope that those people as well shift their mindset for their own greater good, right? Because that's the challenge. Opening our hearts, especially. A lot of us have dealt with past relationships that's kept us blocked off. Guilty, right? I'm not afraid to admit my mistakes, you guys. I'm not ashamed of that anymore. I spent so much time running from being human that I'm done, right? But we've dealt with a lot of people that have just told us what we wanted to hear, people that's sending psychic attack, or maybe they're, just really tormented, or they're trying to torment you, but now we're pulling ourselves out of it. Because the focus is in a different place. It's focused on newness, new beginnings. We all have an opportunity here to get our justice by opening our hearts and coming from a place of love. Show me the Empress. See, the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Wands. So there's definitely some communication coming in that's, been on our minds, or maybe we're thinking about reaching out, or maybe we've decided not to. I also see a situation here where some of us may be doing some traveling, maybe along our journey, going somewhere or going on a trip or what have you. There's something that we're trapped in our minds about. And it can have a lot to do with the wolves in sheep's clothing. I want you guys to take a look at this card. I absolutely love these cards. I love Luis Royo's art, you guys. And I just absolutely love these cards because spot on depictions of the energies. even when even when it's unintentional, right? Because this wolves in sheep's clothing has definitely been exposed to us. Some of us, it is people in the family, people in the workplace. I'm seeing even within the church for some of you, within committed partnerships, all of these things on our minds right now are the source of what's keeping us trapped in our mental prisons. With this Hierophant here, you guys, as stated before, finding, the right mentors to listen to. Doing a lot more studying. Learning new skills. Even when you're focused on all of this stuff outside of yourself, we're still just like this. We're reading up on many different subjects, finding many different ways to heal, self-help books even. Some of us are tapping into our spirituality, learning more about that. Some of you guys may be religious. Whatever belief you have, I'm open to everyone. I'm not going to shun you or, things because we have different beliefs, right? So whatever it is that you believe, whatever it is that you're exploring and learning, it's allowing you to grow. Show me the Devil reversed. Seven of Wands. I love seeing this, you guys. You know, I want to take a step back for a second because this Two of Swords reverse has been calling to me, right? There seems to be opposing ideas, opposing belief systems, what have you. And it's like, yeah, everybody can be an eye for an eye, just like the two swords, right? An eye for an eye, but it results in a stalemate because at the end of the day, focusing on ourselves, standing our ground against bullies, against negativity, against toxicity, even our own inner negativity and toxicity. We're standing our ground against this. And because of that, we will come out on top of the competition. As long as we continue to feed our focus and focus on the light at the end of the tunnel as we have been. Okay? Now, strength. It's going to take some patience, you guys. And patience is a virtue. Got to stay strong in the face of adversity. And I've had a hard time with that myself, but just like anybody else in the world, or the majority of people anyway, we all have the potential to learn new things, right? And we're exuding this strength that people are trying to chip away at, and it's not working. I feel like because we're standing for our own beliefs, we're standing up for, you know, what's right. That's why the wheel is turning in our favor. We don't have to get, you know, caught up in the drama and tit for tat and all of that. It's not going to get anybody anywhere. Show me the High Priestess reversed. Habisha says, I just felt stand guard for those less fortunate. Beautiful message. I love that. Yes, most definitely. Seven of Swords reverse. Okay, so let's put this down for a second, you guys. Okay. Now, I want to talk about this because I ain't even gonna lie, man. This is awesome. This is really awesome. A lot of us are going to be pulling ourselves out of the sense of being tormented, depression, and all of these things because we're realizing that we have to be the change we wish to see in the world, not just talk about it. And for those that are involved in the gossip and all of that stuff, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys, this is clarifying the advice, right? This is why I'm bringing back up the gossiping, right? Regardless of that, as long as we stay silent about our goals, our plans, our ideas, which I've been guilty of sharing, right? As long as we stay silent, we'll be good. But see, a lot of us have stayed silent about things emotionally that we shouldn't stay silent about. And I feel like right now, more than ever, focusing on purging any unresolved emotions within ourselves or within our relationships, what have you, will allow us to see the way out, to see the way to healing, or to see the way to resolving any issues within certain relationships, or just deciding, quite simple and plain, like to walk away, never to return again, because there are some people that just cannot be helped. There are some people that are not willing to learn and grow. There are some people that, you know, would rather allow, you know, small differences to get in the way of establishing connection. And so since this is also clarifying the advice, you guys, the Four of Cups, this is all about going inward for quiet contemplation. This is all about meditation. Relaxation, resting. Every offer that is presented to us, we're realizing we don't need to take every offer. And I feel like there have been multiple offers where we've just been kind of indifferent to. Let's just put it that way. And for good reason. Right now is the time for introspection and self-reflection. This here also tells me that we shouldn't take the bait. Again, going back to the whole gossipy, whatever, getting caught up in the tit for tat and all of that stuff, we need to go inward. We don't have to take the bait. We don't have to take that offer. We don't have to have a response to everything. We have to ignore the ignorance. Because there are a lot of people that appear one way and are completely different. And there are certain people that have already been exposed for that very reason. Whether they're lying, cheating, stealing, or all of the above, that's come out. Those that have been sneaky or whatever the case may be, we can see. We know. Show me the Two of Wands reversed. Habisha says, I'm praying for my allies and enemies alike. I want goodness for all. And you know what? That's a good attitude to have. Completely agree. Five of Wands. Now, you guys, earlier this just came back out, right? Now, earlier we saw this very same card. Didn't I tell you Petty Paige and Petty Labelle has entered the chat? We don't have to enter the chat with them. The full reversed. Again, with the impulsivity. A lot of people are acting on impulse. They're acting out of anger, frustration. A lot of us may be feeling scatterbrained about a lot of the things that have been revealed to us, about a lot of the things that we're currently going through in life. But I'm going to tell you like this. Because you've separated from the toxicity and you're solely focusing on the self, that is your saving grace. A lot of us are hoping to become mentors ourselves. Whoever's viewing this video. Maybe you want to become a life coach. Maybe you guys want to become a spiritual advisor, a financial advisor, whatever the case may be, whatever your interests are. You can do this. You can do this. Don't allow the fears of the unknown or fear in general get in the way of your own success. Because I see that if you guys take the lead and manage your time, manage your relationships, and manage your tasks, and only solely focus on that, therein lies where success can come in, growth can come in. But if we're allowing all of these petty Bettys, petty Pages, and petty Labelles to get in the way and to incite fear, then that's the choice we're going to have to live with. And that's not going to make us happy in the long run. So face your fears and allow yourself to look at how far you've come, right? Everything that you've endured thus far, you're still standing. So if you can do that, you can do anything. And regardless of whether people agree with you or not, regardless of whether people stand by you or not, should have no bearing on you moving forward. And I see that it will not affect us. Maybe at one point in time it was, but now we're realizing that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And now that we've reached it, we can embrace the freedom that we now have. The Six of Cups is clarifying the outcome. And I think that for some of us, not all of us, but for some of us, the fear of change and the fear of being capable of change is our greatest hurdle. Fear of getting our heart broken again is another one of our greatest hurdles right now. Regaining balance, seeking justice, and living up to our highest potential. A lot of us may have been told by, certain people in the family, or even people that we may have thought were friends, or even naysayers in general. We may have internalized a lot of things throughout life. But the more that we focus on our goals, our dreams, and what we want out of life, we focus on people that want the best for us, people that speak life into you, come from a place of love. That's what will help us not only release ourselves from our mental prison, but to be able to achieve all we set out to achieve. Now show me the Wheel of Fortune. And then we're going to move forward into the forgiveness messages before I bid you adieu. Told you, you guys. Now look at this. The sun. Okay. Let the sun shine in. Strength card again. And the Queen of Chalices. I love this. Look at this. We need to be patient with ourselves, patient with our goals, trusting our intuition, and continuing to focus on the things that make us happy. We're not focused on this anymore. Some of us may have, come to a point in time in our lives where we may have felt like, we were abandoned or that we were left out in the cold in some way. But that doesn't mean that everyone in the future will do us that way. And it's funny that this is coming to light because I myself am still working through that realization. Hello, Molly. Welcome. Blessings to you as well. And love. See, I think what this is telling us the most is be wary of overspending, overextending yourself. Some of us are going through a divorce or a breakup here. And some of us are dealing with the loneliness of that. Maybe some of us are identifying the fact that maybe we surrounded ourselves with people that we've grown apart from for so long to avoid feeling this way, or to avoid having to look within and identify what's going on and how to rectify it or how to heal it. But change is here. We're liberating ourselves by completing the cycle of chaos, of heartbreak, of pain, of disappointment. We are releasing ourselves and liberating ourselves from this. We all know life is about choices. Who we choose to be and what we choose to do with our time and our energy will determine our future. And right now, we need to be patient, stay strong, and most of all, stay silent. Now, I want to wrap this up, you guys, with some forgiveness messages. Gods and goddesses, what messages do you have for the collective? What is it that we all need to forgive? Thank you so much. Blue Flame says, Queen, I've given that kid nothing but props, overlooking her cruel and nastiness towards everyone. I'm over it. I realized how much hate she has for me. Demonic influence for sure. And I'm sorry to hear that, Blue Flame. I truly am. Unfortunately, some people are not willing to open their hearts and their minds to the harsh realities and the harsh truths of themselves. But I hope one day that she'll be able to do so. Let's see. Habisha, I like her message. Breathe, Aries sister. Let her go and she will come back. She will need her mom. That's very true. It was when I needed my mom, I understood my mistake of not getting how hard it is out there. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Now we have 4 cards here, you guys, and the one at the bottom of the deck. So let's see. I forgive myself for pressuring myself to be a rigid version of myself that is unnatural to me. Wow. 2 on point. I choose to believe that I am a multidimensional being that cannot ever be fully defined, as I am reconfiguring and expanding in every moment. You know what? This one calls to me, you guys, so I'm going to add this. Oh, man. Wow. Okay, you guys. Here we go. I forgive myself for feeling as though there may exist a time in the future where I do not have what I need, despite having all that I need in the present. I choose to believe that when I focus my attention of what I do have, I align with the flow of abundance that is already mine. Okay. I forgive myself for catastrophizing. Wait, hold on. Let me start over, you guys. Oops, oopsie poopsie. I forgive myself for catastrophizing and abandoning hope when I perceive something has not gone according to my plan. Wow. I choose to believe I'm being built for what it is I'm building. And that requires an expansion in perspective in order to accommodate a higher plan. These are really beautiful. Okay. I forgive myself for underestimating my love and undervaluing my strength. I choose to believe that I am only beginning to know the loving purpose I have in this world, and I am expanding into my powerful wholeness in every moment. I forgive myself for sharing my love with the expectation of something in return. I choose to believe that love is not directly transactional, and that when I give without needing anything in return, I allow myself to receive from multiple sources of love. I forgive myself for wanting to be right and making others wrong in the process. Now, right and wrong are in quotes, by the way. Okay? I choose to believe that what's right for me may not be right for another, and that does not reflexively make it wrong in any way, as we all differ in the essential expression of the self. I love it. I absolutely love it. I forgive myself for distrusting my ability to provide for myself and give myself all that I need. I choose to believe that even when there is no proof, life is supporting me and elevating me to the next chapter of my divine adventure. Oh my God, I'm going to start using these cards more and more, you guys. These are amazing. I forgive myself for holding on to old narratives in an attempt to avoid uncomfortable emotions again in the future. Ooh. I choose to believe that I am safe and I no longer need to act on old stories my ego has created in order to protect me. Wow. Oh, that hit home, you guys. I almost wanted to cry, you guys. That tugged at my heartstrings, because ain't that the truth? Wow. Wow. Okay, 3 more, you guys, and then that's it. Because I could just read this whole deck and find something to resonate with. So let's just stop at this for today, right? All right. I forgive myself for resisting and attempting to redirect my life's natural unfolding. Wow. Hey, Shishi. I choose to believe that life eternally guides me towards my deepest desires on an expansive timeline that supports the realization of my highest potential. Yes. Yes. I forgive myself for fearing the power of my own love and passion. I choose to believe that my love holds a unique energetic signature that this world craves. And by focusing on knowing myself more, I strengthen its divine expression. And the final one, you guys, I forgive myself for worrying about what may happen should I dare to venture outside of my comfort zone. Woo! This one's also hitting home. Hell, all of them have, right? I choose to believe that the exploration of the unknown and uncomfortable is my key to the door that opens to the experience of my dreams. Beautiful, you guys. So there you have it. And Shishi, I would love to do that for you. Just check the description box below for my website, okay? Now, that is what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to those of you who have left a like. And if you haven't yet, hit that like button for letting the sunshine in, for happiness, for healing, and for health, wealth, and happiness. I know I already said happiness, but we're saying it twice, right? And until next time, you guys, stay strong, stay patient, stay vigilant, and most of all, around these petty Bettys, petty Pages, and petty Labelles, stay silent. And until next time, you guys, stay blessed, not stressed. Peace and love. Mwah.